Hello, I hope everybody's having a wonderful November day. Today is November 7th, 2018, and I figured a good subject of discussion would be XRP, and consequently, since we'll be talking about XRP, we're going to be talking about Ripple. Then I want to make it known right off the bat for anybody who gets Ripple and XRP's relationship confused. Well, you're not alone. There's a ton of confusion about Ripple. And essentially we'll be getting into that. We'll be making an entire video about the relationship between Ripple and XRP in the near future. But for right now, what I want to talk about is essentially these different partnerships and a lot of these different things involving these big moves on the part of the establishment. When we talk about Amazon, Alexa, quote unquote, the ripple effect, developers bring XRP to Amazon. Now we're talking about Amazon here, people, not this is no small potatoes with Ripple and essentially the global power that's made possible by these different variables that are culminating with the Ripple technology. We could be expecting to be seeing some really interesting things right up ahead. The Sendfriend thing was very interesting as well. This tweet right here, some of hashtag Ripple's partnerships show a lot of promise. MasterCard, MIT Media Lab, and their latest brainchild, hashtag Sendfriend, will allow people to send and receive money from anywhere across the globe. So I think that this is definitely going to be interesting, and in particular the fact that they're talking about the Philippines, and definitely an area of the world that has the attention of a lot of people who are interested in seeing the development of cryptocurrencies for this same reason. So and I think that this is definitely going to be really a big variable as far as the next 365 days. A lot can happen in that amount of time, and I'm definitely excited to be seeing how Ripple is going to be exerting itself, and in particular the moves that are being made by the establishment, in particular with the paradigm shift that's at hand, looking at all the different variables that have been shifting, involving the rise of cryptocurrencies, and essentially an entire new perspective of how people have been looking at things. It's very exciting, and it certainly makes sense that we've been seeing the establishment making these interesting moves in favor of Ripple. Seeing these different establishment bodies, Ripple on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and all these different celebrities who've been giving Ripple that media attention, which is also very significant. I mean, look at this update on the Forbes itself. I mean, obviously I'm not going to give Forbes any credit at all, but I mean, it is an interesting indication of what the conversation is. Ripple XRP leaps higher as Bitcoin falls, because I see this and it sort of makes me think, could this be an indication of what we could be potentially seeing as the market cap moves up? I mean, right now obviously the market cap's at 217, but one day we could very likely potentially be seeing the $1 trillion market cap, which I definitely think is well within reach. And I think once we see the alignment of a lot of these sort of behind the curtain, behind the scenes variables that need to adjust in terms of the financial world, but definitely I'd say that in that same token, we could be seeing some major shakeups. We have seen in the past Ripple and XRP and basically Ethereum switching places, and this has been an interesting development that we've seen. But what could we see? I mean, would I venture to say that potentially we could see Ripple overtake Bitcoin? I mean, only time will tell, but I'm not going to be so bold as to make that prediction, but it is interesting thought experiment nonetheless. And I do say that cryptocurrency and everything in the top 100 definitely does have an interesting future ahead of it, in particular when you look at how the culmination of all these different technologies technologies, and of course the old paradigm giving way to the new way of doing things. And it can be seen just by looking at the world debt clock. You can see it's sort of become a meme on this channel to check out the world debt clock, but I think that it is interesting to keep checking up on it. In particular, I mean, you might think that these numbers up here, 217 billion, might seem a lot to you, but I mean, look at all the zeros that come after the national debt, and all these different variables are definitely building towards something. I mean, are people realistically going to go from having paper fiat to simply having digital fiat? I think that it leaves with that sort of centralization, all these different variables. I think that blockchain definitely does have a place in the future. But just looking at the different crypto news, I mean, crypto exchanges line up to support Bitcoin Cash's hard fork. Crypto market cap makes 4-week high, tops to 20 billion. That was sort of a glimmer of hope that we saw. Now it's back down to 217 at the time of making this video, but I mean, the market cap has been showing some recent activity lately, which is optimistic for, I mean, I would say, but definitely in this day and age when we've been seeing the decline of Twitter and the decline of Facebook, I think that it is interesting to dedicate some time to be talking about a lot of the key tactical errors that were made by Facebook and Twitter, and it is definitely a good example of seeing how decentralized storage of data and the overall functionality of doing things using decentralized blockchain technology is going to run circles around the Zuckerbot nightmare that was Facebook. And it's certainly interesting to see. I mean, all these different hacks and these things, seems like every single day we see different problems that Facebook runs into, nightmare as it were. And and then with Twitter toying around with the idea of removing the like function, definitely would not be the best decision in my opinion. But this was interesting too right here. The back and forth has been ongoing for better than 4 months, and XRP is set to be one of the initial coins listed on NASDAQ, launches in crypto. So this is definitely going to be interesting. The incentivization of these things, and 2019, and I think that this will take the title of the video just to basically bring some more attention to this NASDAQ. But this is definitely big as far as bringing cryptocurrencies onto the that global stage, which we talk about, and really exerting the conversation regarding these variables as things continue to progress and move forward. I'm very much interested in seeing what problems in the real world are going to be solved by the different cryptos on here. And I think that Ripple, although it does have sort of a reputation about it, now obviously what crypto on here is without its own reputation, but there's people out there who criticize Ripple for essentially how it goes against the traditional philosophy, the Satoshi Nakamoto Bitcoin philosophy of the decentralized. But I would say, I mean, there's two ways that you could look at it. I mean, you could be excited or you could be pessimistic, but I'm personally interested in seeing where these things are going to go. And I think that what we've been seeing happening so far with Ripple definitely does have me optimistic about where these technologies are going to have a place on the international stage. And I think that this was an interesting piece of artwork here, but it is definitely interesting. So all that being said, if you guys are interested, make sure that you connect with us on our Twitter, that's at CryptoTuber, and make sure that you comment down below letting us know what you think. And all that being said, remember, this video is just for entertainment, educational purposes only. Remember, I'm not your dad. This video is for basically it's not advice or anything like that. This video is just me exploring my opinions and conversation about Ripple. And now it's definitely interesting to see how these different news articles have been perceiving Ripple and these different partnerships and movements that have been happening involving the crypto space. But I think we've covered a lot of things for today, so we'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you subscribe and put on post notifications for getting updates on the next live stream and so forth. Have a good one.